The Good Omens fandom has really been through the ringer since the release of season 2. We waited 6 months before we heard the official green light for season 3, and then, of course, about 6 months later, the Neil Gaiman scandal came out, and since then, it's just been one thing after the other. We thought that it was canceled. There were lots of rumors of the sets being taken down. We ran the fan campaign, and then we heard that it wasn't going to be canceled. Instead, we were getting a 90-minute movie. That was a rumor for a little while, and then that got confirmed. So we've had our hopes up and down and all over the place. And so I think it's quite natural that when we hear anything might not be going perfectly, we all feel a little bit of panic. So today I want to share with you 7 reasons, because God loves sevens, why Good Omens Season 3, the 90-minute finale, will be coming out and why you shouldn't panic. We're going to dive right in with the first reason. The cast has been continually talking about Good Omens. At the recent Dutch Comic-Con, where David Tennant was a guest, when asked about Good Omens, he had this to say: "They hang out. They've been best friends through eternity. They are not very good at admitting that. Crowley is not very good at admitting that. Crowley is a bit reluctant to admit how much Aziraphale means to him, how much he needs Aziraphale. So I think they do everything, all sorts of things together, some of which we may never see. We can only imagine. You join the dots. I don't know. You lot are the ones who write that sort of thing, not me. I'm sure you'd know better than I do what they get up to when the cameras are off." So David is very happy to talk about Crowley and Aziraphale and their relationship. In addition, of course, Dune McKeegan, in a fairly recent interview, said that she believed that the finale was going to be released sometime this fall, and she discussed in some detail what her character, Michael, might be getting up to in season 3. Michael Sheen, who is part of the reason some people might be having a panic, but he has continued posting, including pictures of Aziraphale, very cute one with glasses that has since been memed by 1,000 fans. Also recently, Liz Carr, who plays Seraquiel, made a post on her Blue Sky account, and although the post has been removed, this frequently happens when cast members post things that might be considered leaks, and so tiny spoiler warning. If you don't want, you can just skip ahead about 30 seconds here, but she posted something to the effect of that some cast were being called in to do some voiceover work for season 3, and this was just posted a couple of days ago. We'll move on to the second reason. The second reason why you shouldn't panic, and why I do believe that Good Omens, the finale, will be released on schedule, is that Rob and Rihanna have continued to like posts and interact with the fandom. They've liked posts that people have said things like, trust in Rob and Rihanna and trust the process and we'll get to see the finale, and they've liked those posts. So if they knew anything, I get the feeling they wouldn't be liking those kinds of posts. In addition, we've also heard that the Good Omens store, the Good Omens official store, which will be run by the Pratchett estate, will be opening very soon, and that was just announced. They just posted an announcement in last week that they're in the final stages of setting that up. So we will be getting some official Good Omens merch soon, and I don't think we'd be seeing that kind of hype if they had any word that there was anything wrong with the release date on the finale. The third reason you shouldn't panic, and that I do believe we will see the finale, is that we have been seeing tons of advertisements for the Sandman in just the last few days. And the Sandman will be released here over the July 4th holiday weekend. Now, I know it's a different company, that's Netflix, not Amazon. However, the fact that Netflix is not hesitant at all to advertise the Sandman and is really popping out with the promotions. And since Good Omens 3 has been filmed, just as has the Sandman, there seems no reason for them not to follow Netflix's lead. And since Sandman is getting so much positive hype, I think that bodes well also for Good Omens, the finale. The fourth reason why we should all stay calm and not panic is that we have heard no actual leaks or news. Unlike when we heard that it might be canceled back near the fall of last year after the scandal broke, where we were hearing from official sources that it had been paused and that negotiations were ongoing. Like Deadline had posted an article about that. And we had numerous leaks from like production and crew, people just kind of whispering that they'd heard that the sets were being taken down. We have nothing like that. No leaks, no news articles that are even hinting that there's anything wrong with the release of the finale. And I do think that if there was a problem, if somebody had actually heard something, then we would be hearing it through another source like Deadline. The fifth reason that we should all stay calm and keep having faith is that the IMDb page is continuously being updated with more information about Good Omens Season 3, including as recently as yesterday. We have seen updates for new camera crew members put on there. We recently also saw an addition for Gavin Finney, who is the cinematographer for both Season 1 and Season 2. He has been added to the page, the IMDb page, for Season 3, the finale. The sixth reason we should all stay calm and not panic is related to this. We have recently seen on the IMDb page an update that will include an animation department for the finale. Now, we already have confirmation that Peter Anderson Studios has worked on the intro credits, and this new animation department is not Peter Anderson Studios. So since this would be in post-production, that makes sense that they would be added now. So that is news that the post-production is still being worked on right now, and they would not be doing that if they did not plan to release it. They would not be putting more money into it. So this is a really good sign, in my opinion, because it really does indicate that things are still happening with the post-production, which will of course then lead to the release, hopefully in the fall, which we've heard from a couple of the crew and cast. The seventh reason, last but absolutely not least, is an actual article in Gizmodo, published on June 16th. The article sub-headline reads, and I quote, "Sources say Prime Video is still planning on releasing the special in the wake of the allegations against Neil Gaiman." So as you can see, the only leaks we have, the only sources say kind of news we have is that everything is still in post-production. Everything's going ahead as planned, and that Prime Video still plans to release Good Omens, the finale. So I hope those 7 reasons help all of you feel a little bit more secure. We don't, of course, know when we're going to get a trailer. We don't know when we're getting any promotional material. But based on how Amazon has done things in the past, even with some of their big properties, they tend not to do it until release date gets a little bit closer. I'm hoping we'll see something around the time of the Ineffable Con 6 at the end of August. And of course, I will be covering anything like that that comes out in detail, live streams if I can, with guests where we can go over every little detail and really just kind of geek out about it. So stay tuned for that kind of thing. I am sure we're going to see it within the next 2 months, is my guess, at the latest. And I will keep all of you up to date. I am still hoping to hear some more stories from all of you for our Ineffable Con panel, which is that 6 Degrees of Good Omens. You can see a link down in the description if you'd like to check out how to submit anything for that. And otherwise, I am going to be doing more content again, starting probably around the end of July. We are all just very busy getting ready for the Ineffable Con, and the whole convention summer is really, really a busy time. But after that's over, I know I'm going to start getting videos out weekly again, and I look forward to seeing you then sometime in August on a weekly basis again. I really appreciate everyone having patience with me during this time. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just a busy summer. I'm healthy. My family is healthy. It's just, life. So I'm like not a professional YouTuber. I do this with my spare time, and in the summer, I just don't have as much spare time. I'm putting all of that free time, sort of hobby time, effort into the Comic-Con, which is still Good Omens related. So on that note, I really, really appreciate all of the patrons who have stuck through me when I have these quiet times, knowing that I am still like on Good Omens team. I'm still putting out Good Omens content. It's just quietly behind the scenes a little bit right now. After the Comic-Con is over, after the Ineffable Con ends, I will be releasing both panels on my channel. So even if you are unable to attend the Ineffable Con, whether in person or virtually, don't forget you can attend virtually for as little as $5 a ticket. And all of the proceeds do go to Alzheimer's research. But if you aren't able to attend, you just don't have the time, you will still be able to get to see our panels at least. And I know that there's lots of other content out there. And I will also do some videos probably on what happened at the Ineffable Con, so you guys can get kind of a rundown. We'll probably put out some promo videos for the panels we're making and some other stuff like that. And of course, any news that comes out that's Good Omens related, I will be here to talk about it. And we'll have some more guests and stuff as well. So thank you again, everyone. And I hope to see you soon. And I'll talk to you all later. Have faith. Bye.